Good morning, listeners. Once again, this is the Manager's Clinic right here on Swavis Radio. We are in for the 4th episode. Those of you that missed the previous episodes, we really encourage you to tune in. The Manager's Clinic is always live at 10 a.m. every Saturday, and there is always a repeat at 10 a.m. on every Wednesday. We encourage you to tune in. The Manager's Clinic is a show that showcases challenges of managers, overcoming a number of issues, what the manager is about, how people transverse through that whole journey. And I'm called John, again, hosting this 4th episode of the Manager's Clinic. And with me in the studio, I have a gentleman called Patrick who will ably introduce himself. Patrick, tell us, who is Patrick? What does Patrick do? What do you represent? What are your values? Thank you very much.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you, John. We're back again for the 4th episode. Patrick. Right, Patrick is a management person. He's a management consultant. He's an author. Patrick is passionate about books and writing and publication. And he
Books
has a
and
book
writing. You've
out.
published some books
Yes,
previously?
I do have
All right.
conversations of managers. I have lots of others that are in the pipelines that needs to hit the market. Patrick
Something is
also,
coming up in the pipelines.
as
Okay.
usual,
All right.
the manager resource center and the manager we keep cooking. You know, cooking is our business.
keep
You know,
cooking.
yeah,
Okay.
cooking things that are right, cooking
Yes,
things
yes,
that
yes,
make
yes,
sense,
yes.
things that are actually
Yeah.
practical and real life.
Yeah.
Patrick
yeah.
is also a married man, a wife, and 4 children, 2
Okay.
boys and 2 girls.
Okay.
Handsome and beautiful guys.
Yes.
in there. Yeah, so
Same.
that's roughly Patrick. Patrick is also the founder of the Manager Resource Center, which we founded in 2017.
2017.
Yes,
Okay.
all the
Yeah.
way now. We wanted to ensure that we share what we've learned, what we've gone through in our lives, as in employment journey and the career journey, to ensure that we impact people positively, because there's lots of people being managed badly
Poorly.
out there.
Yes.
There's a lot
yes.
of ill management that is happening,
Mm,
and would want that to change.
mm,
Okay,
mm,
so why we're doing that is because we want to see that everyone manages with distinction. So our goal, our vision is to ensure that people manage with distinction.
When you say distinction, what exactly do you mean? The D1 we used to get in primary. I'm not sure if you got it, but
That was my class. That's why I used
That was
to
your
work.
level.
That was my
okay.
level. I
So what
didn't-
does this distinction exactly
Now,
relate to?
distinction
that you,
is
if you were-
ensuring there's excellence in performance. But there are things that you need to do that shows that there's distinction.
Okay.
The thing is your management style.
Yeah.
Is it factoring the people? Is it taking people in the center or not? Are you even vulnerable
Okay.
to listen to feedback?
Vulnerable.
So,
Okay.
there are lots of are you looking out for your team? Are you building their competence? Are you do you want to be the best person in the crowd, or do you want everyone to be better, so that you move along with them? Because when everyone is okay and everyone is good, it means that
So the Manager Resource Center is able to give some of these solutions
the Manager Resource
to
Center,
individuals and teams and companies as well.
they do that. That's
Okay.
that's our niche. That's our
Right.
niche. We do a lot of that.
Okay. So listeners, today we are in for the 4th episode. The 3rd episode was relating to the pathway, the pathway to becoming a manager. So today we are looking at a point where you've become a manager and you're now in the position of a manager, and we're looking at the challenges that you're actually facing. So today's episode is mainly looking at overcoming challenges as a manager. Patrick, what would you say are some of the major challenges maybe new managers or even managers generally face?
Yeah. There are so many challenges a manager faces. First challenge is personal. Internal.
Personal challenge. Okay.
Internally. Me as a person. I have my own challenges as a manager.
That's some kind of fear.
It could be fear. It could be you feel you're isolated. You feel you're not competent enough. You may have this syndrome of imposter syndrome. Like, so there are individual challenges that you're actually fighting with as a person. Then there's the team challenges that come around. How are the team working around together? The dynamics, are they there? Is the team cohesive? Is the team looking out for each other? Is performance up there or it's not there? How are you balancing performance with capacity building? So you're looking at all that kind of mix in the challenges. Then you're also looking at the organizational challenges,
which are definitely your challenges as well.
Definitely your challenges. Things like issues of policies, are they in place? Are they not in place? If they're in place, are they actually being taken forth? Do people even understand the mandates of the organization, the vision and all that? There's a lot of the strategies that are in place. Do they actually know where they're supposed to be going? So there are lots of those.
So it's a lot of... So I want to just ask one of the key things that people usually talk about. They say that being a manager is lonely. You're lonely at the top. Then there's the aspect of, because you're lonely, there's a lot of social distancing. How do you then manage a situation of keeping your social distance? And remember, you're part of this gang. If you've been in the organization and you're now promoted, you've been part of this gang. But now, as a manager, you certainly have to pull away from this gang to create some kind of social distance. How would you go about that challenge?
When we have all been in those situations. You're with your guys, you're having a good time, you're the guys who are there, and you're telling management, this management does not understand, this game. We've been there,
You've been shelling the management, but now you're a manager.
You're bashing them, and you're in your crew, and all of a sudden, you move up to the ladder, okay? And everyone is looking at you like, what kind of conversation are we going to have with John or with Patrick? He's no longer our levels, right? He's no longer our levels. So the thing is, you need to keep your friendships, because your friendships will take you.
So how do you keep these friendships? Remember, you're now a manager. You possibly have an individual office. You're eating lunch in a different cafeteria. You're no longer eating with the wananchi. You're possibly going to a restaurant to eat. How do you keep that friendship?
One of the things you need to do is, there were some bad habits. What I was saying? We all had this thing and we are bashing the top management or the management team and the other. So one of the things is you have to get off, reduce or just eliminate and eradicate the bad habits that you used to have in the team. Okay, the bad habits that you're just complaining instead of bringing solutions. You want to be the good person, yet you're not good, you're not doing your work, and you want to get away with it. So you have to start changing those bad habits that you're...
So you quit the complaining and
whining, and then you start the doing, the actual doing. If you are the guy who used to hang out with your friends and drink all night, get so drunk, please get off the alcohol. If you can't just get it off, or you can't
stop drinking,
you can get off the alcohol.
May not be very happy with
they may not be. They can get it off, or they can reduce that level. I mean, don't get drunk to a level that you even lose your dignity. Which maybe you'd have done them, but now you have roles and responsibility, and people are looking up to you.
So basically, responsibility is stepping in.
It's stepping in. So you need to
at a
go
much
to
higher
another
level.
Now, the other thing is also you need to separate and have boundaries, friends and work. We usually don't do that.
You're saying you separate, you create a boundary. Okay. How does that?
If it's work, it's work.
Yeah.
If it's out of work, it's out of work. Let me not bring work when we are hanging out, when we are playing maybe a football or a sports, basketball and the others. Let's not take it there. If it's that, let's do that. Okay.
So out of office issues are out of office.
Out of office.
Work is work.
Work is work.
We shouldn't mix unless it's a specific event for that.
And John, if you're supposed to give me your work, you have a task to do, a project to do. I should not say, John, you're my friend, you know what? Finish it at your own timing. Even if I don't hit the deadline, you also say, no, John is my friend.
So the
No,
compliance aspects have to be
you don't have to.
okay.
Don't have to, okay? Then also, you have to ensure that some of the practices,
Yeah.
okay? Remove some of the practices that may make you be isolated from the rest of the team. You know, when you're a manager, what is going to happen? Tea is on your desk.
Yeah.
Okay? Lunch is on your desk. But those days used to have a general cafeteria that everyone goes and eats from there. Everyone goes and takes their tea from there. But now, where are you? You're on your own. All right? Now, those are some things that are going to separate you from. So you need to also get out of them. You say, you know what? I don't want that to be my way of doing business. Right. I'll go to the cafeteria. I'll go where everyone is eating food from and also eat. And you know that catch up in that moment is so vital for you to create that bondage, for you to create that network, for you to build the relationship.
So basically, what I hear you say is that retain the relationship, but put some rules through. So there's this other challenge I hear managers talk about is that the decision fatigue. Managers are always making decisions left, right, and center. Very many decisions. You get to a point and you're actually tired. You're fatigued because the decisions, you're making so many decisions on a daily basis.
Yeah.
How would that be overcome as a manager? How do you overcome the decision fatigue?
One of the things concern that we need to know is, and what managers sometimes think they should be doing. You don't need to make all the decisions. Not all the decisions have to be made. Okay? Why do you rush to make all the decisions?
But you're the manager.
Yes, I'm the manager.
You have to make the decisions.
Yes, I have to.
So if you're telling the listeners that not all because you're the manager, you're responsible for making the decision. So how do you
not every decision needs to be made at that time.
Mm.
You know, the problem we have is managers want to make decisions there and then. Whenever comes in their plate, they want to make the decision. So you keep on being in that loop of all the time you're making decisions, you know, and you're not getting time off to actually breathe, to think through some of these decisions and that kind of thing. So how can you also ensure that happens? Delegate some of the things that you're not supposed to make. Managers stay with all the work. They want to do it themselves. Okay? They want to be in every kind of meeting. They want to be in every kind of project that is happening.
So you're saying you create tires and others can participate, delegate
some of your roles. Okay?
Okay.
Why should I be... You're in charge of assets. Okay? But you want to approve everything that gets into the stores and out of the stores. Why don't you delegate that? Yes, you're in charge of money, petty cash, let me say. You want to approve every petty cash that comes in and goes out. Delegate.
So that should be delegated to a lower officer.
To someone lower than you.
Won't you lose face of some of the activities?
You're not losing any faith. As you delegate, you're making sure you follow up. Okay? Don't delegate and forget about it. Delegate and follow up. You know, follow up once in a while, go and take over the things and say, hey, let me see how you're doing. Okay?
So that's relieving you of fatigue?
A lot of it. Then the other thing is, I love this thing of, you know, you need to standardize. I remember I used to have
standardize documentation,
checklist and all that kind of thing. I used to have a lot of payments that I used to make. But you know, you had all these checklists in the procurement manual and the finance manual. But when it came to payment, they needed you to have all those attachments. So I'd keep scratching my head, you know. Today they bring you a voucher. You think you've covered everything.
Yet you've actually not covered everything.
Yet actually there are things that are missing.
There are things, so many more.
All right? Yeah. Or you spend so much time just trying to get the things that are supposed to be there. Right? So what I had to do was develop a checklist. So it takes me easy. I just tell you, John, you're bringing that voucher. Please tick everything that is on that voucher. That has to be on that voucher for approval to happen. So what John would do is
So you're
It
setting
is.
some kind of formula, some kind of process to ease.
my work.
Okay.
Now, when you do that, I'll make sure that there was another layer that reviews that work. Doesn't come direct to me. Review that work. Okay? You review that work and recommend and say, I've reviewed this work. This work is actually, or this payment is actually okay. By the time it reaches me,
Okay. So basically, one of the key things I hear you say is delegating is very, very important.
yep.
To relieve a manager of what I'm calling the fatigue syndrome. Patrick, we have something called the imposter. You feel an imposter as a manager. Now, by imposter, I mean you feel you're not in the right place. You're a bit timid. Maybe it's your first managerial job and you're not sure of what to do. How do you kill that kind of imposter syndrome?
One of the things that you need to know is you're not in that position by chance. Okay? You're worthy to be in that position. That is, if you are not just put there for the sake of
being
okay?
put there.
So one of the things you need to know.
Put there by a good father.
Yeah, man, I've written something. I've done something on the Godfather.
You've worked with the guys who are courtesy of the Godfather.
Those that's another story.
Okay.
You know.
Right. Yeah.
So the thing is, know that you're in that place for a reason. That you're worthy to be in that place. Because most times, you have this feeling like you're inadequate. Okay? I'm not worthy. How can I be in this place? How can I? You know, you're looking at all these people. Maybe some of the people that you're looking, the space that you're in at that moment, there are people you never even thought you'd actually be in that space. Okay? So that kind of feeling can take you down. So the thing is, just know that, yes, I'm actually worthy. So
basically, you're not there by mistake.
You're not there by mistake. Okay? And
That's
for me, the main thing
Yeah.
is you need to understand your role. It just shows you that maybe you did not understand fully your role.
So if you feel like an imposter, you've not understood
you may
a
feel
certain aspect of the role.
You've not understood.
How do you understand that role?
It's the trainings.
Okay.
Okay? The more connections, the mentorship, the coaching, okay? You get much more knowledge, understanding of but also watching out how other guys are doing it. Other people are doing it in that same position. Okay?
Yeah. Who have been there before and
they've
been managing.
Go ask them their stories. Go share with them their stories. Join the network. Don't run away. Now, when you feel that you're feeling an imposter, please don't go away. Just stay there. And don't shy up. What I've realized is people shy, keep quiet instead of talking. Okay.
I wonder why that happens, but I guess it's something very common.
Yeah.
So, listeners, those who have just tuned in, we are running the 4th episode, and the topic today is overcoming challenges as a manager. And one of the issues I want to dive into and ask you, Patrick, is relating to the employees that feel brilliant. The guys feel very, very brilliant. They create a toxic environment. I'll call them maybe the brilliant jacks. How do you deal with the brilliant jacks as a manager?
I've had a lot of those. Lots of those. My favorite thing is I don't play favorites.
You don't play favorites. But you see, this guy is very brilliant and he's kind of holding you at ransom. If you don't do this, then the project may actually not get delivered. How are you going to handle him? And,
I don't play favorites.
Yeah.
That's the rule number one. Because if you're going to play favorites, there's a whole team. And it's not only one. We have many other people in the picture. All right? You may even find, yes, this person is performing, depending on the conditions why he's performing, he's a high performer. Okay? He may have experience, but may have other guys who are also experienced within the team. Okay? Who are knowledgeable but have not been given that knowledge. The opportunity to shine, I can tell you this. Once I was in some organization, and this person decides to resign. And when this person resigned, he knew, because he knew was the top guy, was the top performer. So he knew by the time he left, everything is going to do what? To die out. There's no way the organization was going to go a step ahead. Okay?
So that's holding the organization at ransom.
So imagine how I enter in after he had stepped out.
Yeah.
Now, when I entered in, I even took the bar to another level. And everyone was asking, so you want to say there was someone who could actually do these things even much better than the other person?
Yeah.
So you never know, in your team, there are people that can do that better. But the other thing is also, if this person feels that they are so good, talk to them. Let's talk to them. Talk to them about their competence and how their competence and because their competence is high up.
They know it. They know it. The behavior.
How their behaviors are impacting.
So you kind of put effort on the behavior.
Yes. Talk about his behavior.
Yeah.
Make sure that they change. Okay? Work with him to improve on his behavior. His or her behaviors. Because it's the behaviors that puts down the team. Okay? So you talk around that. And if this person does not improve,
what, you let the person go? You fire?
Let them go.
You cut?
Let them go. Let them
you
go.
cut the person.
You know, instead of the wound getting so big, just nip it. Yeah.
Okay, that's very interesting. So before we jump into our break, and listeners, again, we are discussing overcoming challenges as a new manager or a manager. And before we go for the break, Patrick, I'd like you to talk about rejection. A manager will always have new ideas, whether you're new or existing. You'll have new ideas. You'll have brilliant things, and you're bringing them on board. But some of the team members are going to reject the processes, the issues that you actually bring, the project, the ideas. How are you going to handle rejection? Or how does a manager handle rejection?
One, I used to supervise staff. And now when I was supervising this team, I wanted to improve the way the work was done. Things like reporting, things like representation, and increasing the scope of what these people were doing, and also reducing the cost to the organization. So I talked with his team members during the meeting, and I tell them, guys, you know what? Going forward, I think we need to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Yeah.
These guys looked at me and they told me, boss, we are not doing that. That's not within our JD. Like, what do you mean? Like, that is not our role. Okay?
It's not their mandate.
I said, you know what? The organization has put you in this place. Why should another person come in that same locality? Yet we are the same people. Okay? You're looking at one aspect. The other person comes to do another aspect in your same locality. It doesn't make a lot of sense. We are not two different people. We are the same people. So you need to take up all those things. And the way the role was is one person was moving in almost all these places, but yet there were people that were in those
very, very places. Yeah.
So fast forward, if they reject, ask them, why are you rejecting it?
Yeah.
Why are you rejecting?
So you should create an open environment where people are able to say, we are rejecting because of this and this and this. Okay.
But also as a manager, what I've realized is people reject when you just say, they haven't seen you do.
Do as I, what's that
you
thing?
Say, do as I say, but not as I do.
As I do.
Okay? So the thing is, first do. Do I want my team to write reports of everything that they do in? As a manager, first write the reports. Okay? After writing the reports and consistently writing it, then I'll tell you, John, you know what? I need your monthly report. I need your activity report.
Because they've seen it.
They've seen you doing it.
They've seen
and
it.
There's no way they're going to tell you stories like, you know what, no, it's harder. Like, if I write it, why can't you write it? Okay? Also let them know the consequences of not writing the report. So one time I told these guys, everyone has to write a report. Everyone from the lowest level to the top person has to write a report. And this guy said, reports for what? I told them, if you don't write a report, what shows that you actually worked during the month? Where are you supposed to be paid?
I know most people don't like report
Yeah,
writing.
They don't.
They want to, go through the day, no report is done, and nothing. So, Patrick, thank you so much for those insights. Listeners, before we go for the break, we'll let you know what's coming up. What we'll be looking at in our next part after the break is what we call quiet quitting. How does the manager manage the quiet quitting employees? Thank you so much. Stay tuned. This is the Manager's Clinic, and we'll see you right after the break.
Perched on the serene slopes of Mutungo Hill, surrounded by eye-catching city views, stories are not just told, they are told boldly and courageously. Welcome to Suavis Production, the home of all things audiovisual, from cinematic video production, photography, sound engineering, live event coverage, podcast recording, voiceovers, audiobook narration. Service production is where creativity meets courage. Don't keep that story away. Bring it on. Bring it to life. Share it with the world. Whether you are an artist, a brand, a change maker, we will help you tell it with power, clarity, and unforgettable impact. Our studio is located on Mutungo Hill with its peaceful environment and breathtaking cityscape. It's open every day of the week. Make your booking now. Your story deserves to be seen and heard. Service production. Capture, create, inspire.
Welcome back, listeners. Thank you again for tuning in to the Manager's Clinic. This is a show discussing a number of managerial issues. And just before we went for the break, we're going to discuss quiet quitting. What is quiet quitting? How does a manager handle quiet quitting in an environment that is very, very volatile? Patrick, what is quiet quitting, and how would a manager handle quiet quitting?
This is when people just decide to do the bare minimum.
Bare minimum?
Yeah.
What do you mean? The guy comes, takes tea,
That's
looks
what's
at
expected.
TikTok, WhatsApp.
What's expected of him? Not giving too much extra.
Initially people would read papers, but now it's scroll.
They scroll,
Okay.
but comes and gives you what you need. Okay, does not explain to you. Their motivation is low.
How do you identify that, and how do you then manage that?
I mean, the person that was so outgoing starts keeping quiet. The person that used to share a lot of their ideas,
Knowledge,
shuts
ideas,
up,
they shut
you know,
up. Yeah.
they shut up, you know.
Yeah.
And when they shut up, what's going to happen? You're second guessing. What's wrong with this person? Okay? Is there a change in them? That motivation, that drive, that fire that they used to have, it's no longer there. Quietly, they've zoned out. Okay? They've zoned out, and they don't mind. Okay? They don't mind.
And I guess maybe those happen in toxic environments, or
Yeah.
How is that handled?
It's more about your management style, because one of the things is why people go quiet is I bring my ideas and you don't want them in.
So what's the ideal management
I
style?
bring my ideas, you don't listen to my ideas.
Yeah.
Okay? You thrash my ideas. Right? And yet after some time, it's my ideas that are the ones you're going to use. Or you even take over them and start saying that you're the one who brought this idea and not acknowledging me who actually brought forth this idea. So I'm asking myself, why am I giving my ideas, yet no one is listening. No one is crediting me for my ideas.
So the employee kind of leaves it at that, keeps quiet, sits down on their phone.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're not engaging. They're demotivated. They don't challenge anything.
How are you going to directly manage that as a manager?
Now, as a manager, you need to understand why is it that you need to learn and study people. Why is John quiet? Okay.
All of a sudden, John is quiet.
John is quiet. He doesn't talk. He doesn't share. You tell him things. He just give you the bare minimum. Those days, he used to go an extra mile. This time, he doesn't. When there are projects coming in, he's not enthusiastic to be part of it. He's not volunteering to be part of them. you know, but yet it was something that was
Just
natural.
comfortable with
He
the
was like,
back
hey,
seats.
I'm here, you know
Yeah,
what?
yeah,
I want to do that.
yeah.
But he's no longer in it, you know.
Mm,
He's lost his drive, you know. You just see it. So you need to engage this person. No? One, you understand them, start engaging them. Okay? Start engaging them, giving them that environment that they can actually do their own thing. Okay? And you also acknowledge them. All right? But above all, also start challenging them.
Challenging them.
Yeah. If you don't challenge, you know.
So the challenging will kind of pick them up. And
Pick them
thanks a
up,
lot, Patrick.
you know.
I want to dive into something related to blood pressure.
Yeah. Oh,
As a manager,
man.
there's a lot of pressure. First of all, there are demands from your CEO. There are certain demands that may come through the CEO from the board. There are demands from your own team. There are demands generally from the organization itself. How does a manager handle this kind of blood pressure? Pressure.
Pressure will be there.
Yeah.
It's ever there. One thing is, most managers and most of us, when you start employment, we don't set our ground rules and expectations clear from the beginning. Okay? So you don't know how you're supposed to work, or other people don't know how you're supposed to work. Okay? How do I work with John? I need to have set the ground rules straight from the word go. If I don't set those ground rules, people are going to take it for granted. I'm going to give them guess. Okay? They're supposed to guess me.
Okay.
I'll tell you one time, I joined this team. When I joined this team, I tell these guys, you need to do a report. They're actually writing a report for the organization, for our program. And it was an annual report, you know. So
annual report.
Yeah. I entered during this period of annual report. Being in the same organization, I knew things are okay. You know, I asked them, how is the report writing going? Like, it's good, manager. Everything is okay. You know,
things are flowing.
I told them, you know, we have a meeting. You know, it's on Monday. We are reporting on Sunday for a review of the report. They go like, it's okay. We are going to handle it. By the time you even step there, things are done. I told them, send me that report, please, when you're done, before we go for the workshop, the review workshop. Now, Sunday reaches, we report. I've not seen any report. Nothing.
Pressure is building
Monday,
up.
man, you know.
Pressure.
Monday, you enter the workshop place. The guys are all there.
Nothing.
You're like, where's my report? The guy's like, manager, we are sending. Okay? 1 hour.
Meanwhile, you're in the meeting. No report.
Your supervisor is telling you, Patrick, I want your report for your team. I'm telling him I'm bringing. I want the report. I'm bringing.
And you're pacing around the room like there's a...
10 a.m. You know, you start to report at 8, 10 a.m. and you're still doing the same thing. So I told him what is actually happening. Until one of them told me, you know what, manager, we're just working on the report right now.
You must have felt like dying, huh?
I felt so bad.
What did you do to that team? Did you cane them? Did you suspend them?
I kept quiet. I told my supervisor, give me a day. You'll see our reports tomorrow. Okay? We haggled a lot, my supervisor. I told him, you know what? I don't want to lie to you, but the report is coming next.
Basically, you are honest. And
Yes,
I guess that happens a lot. The teams tend to lie.
Too much.
But as we run through conclusion of our discussion today, Patrick, I want us to discuss the difficult conversation. Most managers shy away from the difficult conversations. There will always be a time when you have to lay off someone, communicate that information. Those are termed as very, very difficult conversations. So, Patrick, how does a manager handle a difficult conversation? Could be a layoff, could be anything relating to the team.
One of the things you have to do is have a face-to-face meeting.
Okay, I can't send a
You-
WhatsApp. There's actually a case I once read, and this lady was fired by WhatsApp. That was a difficult way to do it. So you have a face-to-face.
You have a face-to-face
conversation.
conversation,
Mm.
and that face-to-face, you're going to lay down the facts. Okay.
The facts of the matter.
Yes. Okay. Why am I? Why are we having this conversation? Because of A, B, C, D. Okay. And you're not going to attack the person, the personality of the person. Okay. As in looking at him and like,
You're
John,
looking at
because
the
you're
facts and the concepts,
you're
basically.
like this, you're this, that's why you're doing this. No, just tell him, you know what? This action that you did is this, causing this issue. Because of your action, we have had A, B, C, D.
We've had to do this because of ABC. And should you document some of these actions?
Yes, because if you're having facts, what are you going to? They're not
Okay.
going to be hearsay.
Okay.
You don't deal with hearsay, you deal with actual
Actual
evidence.
Okay.
If the person tries to take you ahead, what are you going to say? If they try to take like, let's go to the labor laws and the others, what are you going to do?
Yeah,
you
courts
really
and,
need to do that. But the other thing is, as you're delivering this information and you're having this conversation, be empathetic. You know, sure. Imagine it's you in that shoe. How are you going to? How would you want it to be delivered to you? You know, is it humane? You know, are you laughing as you're talking? Are you giving the person this information? Are you sad? You know, be empathetic. You know, show them, yes, I'm doing this, but you know what? It's hard on me as well. It's hard on me.
I guess management is easy and hard at the same time. So, Patrick, as we conclude this episode, and listeners, again, this episode has been about overcoming challenges as a manager. So, Patrick, what would be your parting remarks as we conclude this episode of the Manager's Clinic?
Today we've been talking about the challenges of a manager.
Yes.
And how to overcome them.
Yes.
Specifically how to overcome some of those challenges. There are lots of things to do to overcome these challenges. But we don't usually have the facts and the how to doing this. One of the things I want us to know is you need to understand that a manager, you have your own challenges, then you have the team challenges, then you have the organizational challenges. And those makes or breaks you depending on how good you are. Now, which means that you need to build your competence to handle and understand all these challenges, okay? And what are the best solutions to them? I can tell you that as the Manager Resource Center, these are the kinds of things that we do. We work with you, the manager. We work with your team. So you're able
to deliver some of these solutions. Okay.
We get you some of the solutions in some of these hard situations, hard questions, you know, the challenges that you're going through, because we are there to give you simple, real life, practical solutions. Timely solutions, you know, that takes you to the next level and walks a journey of management with distinction. So just get in touch with us, either through our email,
phone number,
through our phone line. You can just hit me and call me up on 0776 521 701. And then we start that journey. You know, we start that journey for your team and for yourself as well and your organization, because as the Manager Resource Center, we do a lot of things.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Patrick. And it's been a pleasure having you on this fourth episode. Listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for embracing the Manager's Clinic on the online radio service. Just as a kind reminder, we run this program live every 10 a.m. on Saturdays. And there's a repeat. Do not miss the repeat in case your schedule has been a bit of a challenge. We do the repeat on at 10 o'clock every Wednesday. Thank you so much, and looking forward to having you once again on the next episode, which will be the 5th. Thank you.